Join me as I dive deep into the mysteries of what happens to the soul after we die. I'm going to explore different beliefs and theories to see if I can find some answers. The concept of a soul has been a part of human culture for thousands of years, and it's a question that has puzzled philosophers, religious scholars, and scientists alike. What happens to the soul after we die? From reincarnation to an afterlife, the possibilities are endless, and today, we're going to explore some of the most fascinating perspectives on this age-old question. Death is something that we all will inevitably face, and yet, it's something that we rarely talk about. We often shy away from discussing it because it makes us uncomfortable, because it makes us confront our own mortality. But the truth is, death is a natural part of life, and it's something that we need to accept and understand. One of the biggest fears that people have is not knowing what happens after we die, and that uncertainty can be overwhelming. We've all lost loved ones, and we've all wondered what happens to them after they pass away. Do they go to a better place? Do they cease to exist? These are the questions that keep us up at night. Our fear of death is intricately tied to our fear of the unknown, and it's something that has been ingrained in us since we were children. We've all heard stories about what happens after we die, from heaven and hell to reincarnation, but the truth is, no one really knows for sure. And that uncertainty can be terrifying. We've all seen people who are dying, who are struggling to come to terms with their own mortality, and it's heartbreaking. We want to believe that there's something more, that our loved ones will somehow continue on, but we just don't know. But is this fear of death and the unknown holding us back? Is it preventing us from living our lives to the fullest? These are questions that we need to ask ourselves, and they're questions that we're going to explore today. Different cultures and religions have their own beliefs about what happens after we die, and they're all fascinating in their own way. In Hinduism and Buddhism, there's the concept of reincarnation, where the soul is reborn into a new body after death. In Christianity, there's heaven and hell, where the soul is judged based on its actions in life. In some African cultures, there's the belief that the soul returns to the earth to roam freely. These are just a few examples, but there are countless others, each with its own unique perspective on the afterlife. One of the most intriguing perspectives on the afterlife is the concept of spiritual liberation. This is the idea that the soul is trapped in a cycle of reincarnation, and that the only way to break free is to achieve enlightenment. This is a central tenet of Buddhism and Hinduism, and it's a concept that has been debated by philosophers and religious scholars for centuries. The idea is that once we achieve enlightenment, we're able to transcend the cycle of reincarnation and achieve a state of higher consciousness. In many indigenous cultures, there's a strong belief in the concept of a spiritual realm, where the soul continues on after death. This realm is often seen as a place of great beauty and wonder, where the soul is free to roam and explore. It's a place where the soul can connect with its ancestors and the natural world, and it's a place where the soul can find peace and harmony. Then there are the scientific interpretations, which offer a more rational explanation for what happens after we die. Some scientists believe that the brain is what creates our consciousness, and that when we die, our consciousness ceases to exist. Others believe that there's a quantum soul, where our consciousness is connected to a larger universe. These are theories that are still being debated and explored, but they offer a fascinating perspective on the nature of the soul. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for the existence of an afterlife is the phenomenon of near-death experiences. These are experiences where people have come close to death, and have reported seeing a tunnel of light, or meeting loved ones who have passed away. These experiences are often incredibly vivid and realistic, and they've been reported by people from all walks of life. While they don't prove the existence of an afterlife, they do offer a glimpse into the nature of consciousness and the human experience. Another piece of evidence is the concept of consciousness itself. Many scientists believe that consciousness is not just a product of the brain, but is a fundamental aspect of the universe. This raises the question of what happens to our consciousness after we die, and whether it continues on in some form. While we may not have the answers, the question itself is fascinating, and it's something that we're going to continue to explore. In the end, what happens to the soul after we die is a deeply personal and subjective question. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, and it's something that each of us must grapple with on our own. Whether we believe in reincarnation, heaven and hell, or spiritual liberation, the truth is that we'll never really know for sure until we die, but that shouldn't stop us from exploring the possibilities, and from seeking answers to this age-old question. So, what do you believe happens to the soul after we die? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to check out another related video on this topic.